Hey guys, it's Jen. This is another Jen is Zen episode of Reframing Me. In these short bits, I give you something to meditate on or journal about. Today, I'd like you to think about this. The beauty of realizing that you're the problem comes in realizing that you are also the solution. Well, I survived graduation, so yay me. We all survived graduation. And I will say that the week leading up to it was significantly harder and much more emotional than I expected for all of us. But it was also much worse than the actual graduation. I mean, once the festivities started and all of our guests started arriving in town, the emotional part, it kind of passed. One friend described it as being very anticlimactic, and another said that it was so impersonal that there wasn't any space for it to be emotional. And it was 90-something degrees, super sunny, and we were up in metal stadium bleachers, so we were absolutely melting. So that probably helped too. It's like we sweat it all out of us. My daughter watches a lot of TikTok, as a one does, and she wanted to do this thing where at the graduation party, everyone leaves the graduate some advice. So we decided to decorate the area with some like basic life advice, things like enjoy the journey, believe in yourself, stuff like that. So I was going through my notes app for idea because, of course, I have like list upon list of random quotes and thoughts and ideas that I've had or I've heard from someone else or I've read somewhere, ideas for journaling or episodes or prompts or whatever. These notes are like the most random of lists. Some are half thoughts, they all have typos, some don't make any sense at all. Some I think back and I try to remember them after the fact, so they're just my interpretation of it. Others I've jotted down while running or cycling or at a stoplight when I quickly try to get the gist of what the podcast I was listening to said. So there are a whole bunch of hodgepodge of everything. So I came across this one and I had no idea where it originated, but when I read it aloud, everyone looked at me like, huh? But I actually think it's really great and something that my 18-year-old self would have been so much happier and so much better off had she realized the truth in it. The beauty in realizing that you are the problem is that you are also the solution. But let's be honest, had I heard this at 18, I probably would have made just that same face that everyone around me made this weekend when I said it. At 18, my ego would have been like, hold up, I'm not the problem here. It's them, everyone, all of them, the world. Nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. They're all out to get me. I'm fat and ugly and dumb and awkward. And of course, he doesn't like me because he's a jerk. He's the problem. He's obsessed with some stupid hoochie because she's a stupid hoochie, duh. So she's the problem. He's the problem. I'm not the problem. My teacher is the problem. My parents are the problem. My friends are the problem. I don't know why, but I know I can't seem to do anything to fix it. Well, maybe that's a bit dramatic, right? And maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe 18-year-old Jen was better than that. Maybe I don't give her enough credit in hindsight. Maybe she was chiller than I remember. But I do not think so. Although, to tell you the truth, I don't even really remember her. But I do remember 40-year-old Jen. And I do remember 30-year-old Jen. And neither of them were what I would describe as chill. So I'm fairly certain that 18-year-old Jen most definitely was not. So yeah, accepting myself as both problem and solution would not have gone over very well. But now I read this and I think that is some of the best advice I could have followed. All of those situations, whether with my parents or friends or boys or teachers or whoever, they all could have been made so much better if only I had allowed myself to recognize that I had a role in the problem. To just be able to push my ego out of the way and be like, so Jen, how are you inserting yourself into this? How is this situation reflecting you and how you feel about yourself or your insecurities? Or maybe what is your role in this situation? How are you contributing to it? Even at 30 or 40, had I realized that I was making so many situations and relationships so much more complicated than they needed to be. Had I realized that we cannot just punctuate issues from our perspective. Every interaction builds upon prior interactions, and every interaction lays the foundation for future interactions, which means that good or bad, we always play some type of role in a situation, which means that yes, we are always involved, even if we don't see it from that vantage point. Now, 48-year-old Jen, I see a situation and I'm immediately like, what's that Taylor Swift lyric? It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Which, yes, may be a slight overcompensation. But looking at it that way, it does give me the power to make it better. The beauty of realizing that we are the problem is that we are also the solution. When I finally allowed myself to take my ego out of the way, to realize what I was putting into situations and into relationships, the baggage that I carried that impacted how I saw the world, basically, when I realized that I was the problem, or at least a contributor to the problem, but I was able to realize that I was also the solution. I could fix things. I could change the way that I saw the world, and I could change the way that I interacted with others. I could strengthen my relationships and influence my future in ways that I didn't even realize was possible. And to be honest, it wasn't possible from the vantage point that I had at that time. Whether it was my relationship with my husband or the way that I was parenting or my place in my career, my relationships with friends, or the way that I interacted with random strangers in a store, I was letting parts of me influence those situations. I was part of the problem. Why I didn't feel happy, or why I didn't achieve the success that I felt I deserved, or why I didn't have the relationships or the interactions that I wanted, why I wasn't the mother that I wanted to be. Now, when I said this statement, quote, thought, I have no idea. But when I said it, the looks that I got were the same ones that I would have had on my face. Why would you want to be the problem? Why would you point out that someone may be the problem? And I totally get that. But when you do finally accept your role in the problem, that's when you can begin to heal. You can begin to repair the parts of you that are contributing to it. Nothing happens in a vacuum. Every communication interaction has a history. Yes, it has a history between you and the other person, but that's the history that I think we all realize. The other history is the influence of you, how you feel about yourself and about the world. And that is impacted by every single experience and every single interaction and every single relationship that you have ever had. So that's a whole lot. We don't think about that one though, do we? We don't recognize the outside baggage that we bring into situations, and we don't realize how much we sometimes need to heal. Because a whole and well and happy version of you can change every situation and every relationship that you enter. So yes, it may be a shot to your ego to initially realize that, yeah, you're the problem. But once you get past that and you see it instead as the solution to all of your other problems and the key to all of your dreams, that's where you'll find growth. So today, to you, the today version of you, the 30-something or 40-something or 50-something or whatever version of you, when I say the beauty of realizing that you're the problem comes in realizing that you are also the solution. Just push your ego out of the way. What are you allowing to impact your relationships or situations or growth? What might your role be in a problem that you face? How can you heal yourself to also be the solution? Thank you so much for listening today and always. If you've enjoyed the show, please share it with your friends. That's how we'll grow our community. Find me on socials. I'm Reframing Me everywhere. And until next time, be well and communicate.